and I don't think democracy is a bad part of their education, but we're not responsible for them. I think it sends a really bad message for the city for the first time in 15 years not to be able to conduct its business because of what's happening in a gallery. Otherwise, I would support it. I just, you know, I think it's a very positive motion. I just think in the end it sends the wrong message.
I feel the same way, Mayor. I didn't think anything like this would ever happen at one of our commission meetings, and really, you know, maybe we should be more involved in what's happening with these soccer clubs. I don't mean involved where we should try to set rules and regulations. I mean we should be more involved and make sure that the youngsters have what they need. I feel like tonight was really a downer for me. It was almost like a mob rule type thing, and I never thought I would see anything like this in the city of Deltona. If anybody knows my character, actually somebody told me up here that I don't have any respect, but if anybody knows my character, and if you read my webpage, my whole thing is dedicated on self-respect and on mutual respect. And if we don't have either one of those things, we have nothing. And you know, I really feel so bad. I would not vote to abort this meeting because I think it's very important for us to go through the process. I mean, there's some things in here that need to be approved. But this has really been a downer for me, and I'm very sorry for the way it happened, especially in the city of Deltona. I am so proud of the city. I never thought something like this would happen. Thank you, Mayor.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. You know, I appreciate the motion put forth by Commissioner Donizak, but I do think we do need to continue with the business of the city. And I realize tensions are high, but what I would suggest that the commission does not do city commission comments is a compromise to Commissioner Donizak's motion.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, perhaps you're not aware of it, but I've had my request to speak, and
no, I
was supposed to be first on the list, and it hasn't been up for the last 15 minutes.
And I apologize, not because I'm ignoring you, because it's not.
Thank you. Understood. Another glitch in the electronics that should be repaired, Madam City Manager. The reason why I believe that you, Mr. Mayor, and you, Commissioner Carmelingo, have misrepresented what happened here this evening is first, the mayor just said that this is a forum much like a courtroom, and it isn't. I practice in courtrooms, and it's a very limited forum where you don't applaud. I hear applause from the public in a legislative forum is perfectly appropriate. We have a situation in court where the judge controls the proceedings himself. To the contrary here, the commission as a whole, when it's properly ordered, controls the proceedings, and therefore the mayor has been the problem this evening by unilaterally, without our approval, limiting debate. It wasn't these kids out here that were the problem, it was the mayor and the way he conducted the meeting. So I think the thing that has to change, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Carmelingo, is that you need to give these people their right of free speech. If these kids come up to a meeting and they're told they can't speak like everybody else, you're training them the wrong way in the democratic process, and that ain't right.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak.
I appreciate you taking the opportunity to do what it is you're doing. I don't appreciate it, but and mostly because the kids are here. I think that you know and probably have read the Commission's operating guidelines, and hopefully you know that what you said isn't true, but if you don't, you ought to reread them. There's a motion on the floor. We need to go ahead and call the roll. Well, it was to adjourn, unless you want to...
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Before I'm going to urge everybody on this commission, this is just me pleading personally with every one of us, we need to stop. We really need to stop. I know that there's a lot of tension, but not right now. Let's not start throwing punches right now. No, and I'm not talking to the
Please,
public, I'm
please.
talking to my fellow commissioners.
Again, the public is
Yeah,
not engaged
what
in
I'm
this.
urging is let's be mature right now. We need to discuss other issues, but not right now. There's a lot of tension, and I just want peace. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead and call the roll. The motion was to adjourn the meeting.
Commissioner Carmelingo,
No.
Commissioner Denizak,
Yes.
Commissioner Diet,
No.
Commissioner Zishko,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McFall-Conti,
No.
Mayor Mulder.
No, motion fails. Before we move on, is there anybody else? There was no other issues on the public forum, right? I don't want to. Tracy, no? I am going to give, during the city manager's comments, the commission's not making comments tonight. I think we've agreed to that. I'm going to ask...
No, I haven't, Mr. Mayor. I'm not giving up my
Naturally.
right to comment.
Naturally, but we'll deal with that later. I'm going to ask the city manager, because the public is here, they have stayed. I think they deserve to hear something from you if you think it's appropriate, or the parks director. I still don't think it's appropriate that we're part of it, but something needs to be said, or a meeting set up where they can all be heard on their own. Unfortunately, whoever got you here at a commission meeting, there's a different way to do it. They knew it. They knew there was a different way to do it. We could have sat and listened to all of you and answered questions informally. That wasn't the route, because that wasn't the motive. But I understand all of you kids and a lot of you parents that are here tonight came for a specific reason. And we're not ignoring that reason. We're just not happy with how this has been presented. The consent agenda, is there anybody that wants to pull items off consent? Motion to approve A, B, and C, please.
I approve A, B, and C on the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Carmelingo, properly seconded by Commissioner Diet. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Resolution number 2010-07 under new business, amending the budget. Is there a motion on this to approve?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and properly by Commissioner Denizak, properly seconded by Commissioner Carmelingo. Those in favor?
Discussion, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Rules of order and all that.
If you could hold your hand up for the rest of the meeting, because as
Okay.
I told you, I can't see that.
I'll turn off the non-functioning machinery. Thank you. Madam City Manager, on this request to reallocate funds from the general fund balance, how much is that general fund balance right now?
I don't have the exact figure of the fund balance, but it's about 16 million.
And how much of that has been appropriated already?
It hasn't been appropriated. It's the fund balance. It's not appropriated unless the commission chooses to appropriate it in some way.
Well, how much of that 16 million is accounted for in our yearly budget, which was approved back in August, I believe,
Well, all of it's accounted for.
or September?
It's all accounted for. It's all accounted for in the budget, sir.
Well, if it's all accounted for in the budget, how can we take this money out in your motion and spend it on something different?
It's
Because
to move it.
The commission already authorized these expenses. This is a formality to move the money to pay for those.
Mr. Klinger,
We
would you like
already
to take the
approved
whip?